My name is Scott Herman, and I am a resident of upstate New York who is interested in launching a community outreach initiative aimed at breaking the cycles of generational poverty, domestic violence, addiction, and limited opportunity, and limiting mindsets among at-risk youth in our community and surrounding areas. I am writing this letter to express my intent to build a program focused on mentorship, mindset development, and real-world skill exposure for young people who are often surrounded by environments where drug dealing, gang activity, and violence appear to be the only available path out of poverty. Too many young people grow up believing that the circumstances around them define their future. Even worse, given our current pop culture, young men and women who come from stable, loving homes are embracing this lifestyle because of its glamorous representation of flashy cars and gold chains in music videos and digital media. The truth I found is that shiny cars don't fit into prison cells or coffins. They take your gold chains away at the penitentiary gates, and that's if you are lucky. You will most likely become a user of your own product and end up homeless and addicted, just like your old customers you used to take advantage of due to their substance abuse / self-medicating issues, then become another statistic yourself. That was the environment and mindset I came from. If you are told repeatedly that you will never amount to anything, there is a very strong likelihood that you won't. We are incredibly suggestible as human beings and are literally programming neural networks in our brains with every new piece of information we absorb and implement. Neurons that fire together, wire together. Unfortunately, that is how it works with both positive and negative input and repetitive life experiences. I want to help show our at-risk youth, and even grown adults, that there is another way. I found the way out of being a statistic and took my life to a level I never thought possible through discipline, self-education, and extreme accountability. I am so far from done. As this is a daily growth process, I will continue to pursue for the remainder of my life. It's like being born again at the age of 35, my age at the time of the decision, with all the knowledge of mankind available instantly, most of the time for free, in the palm of your hand. Anything is possible. My motivation for this work comes from lived experience. I am a convicted, nonviolent felon who has spent time incarcerated and lived through the consequences of serious mistakes and destructive choices that I believed at the time to be the only options I had. I carry the battle scars, tattoos, and life lessons from that period of my life, and I am open about them because they are part of the truth of where I came from. For a long time, I genuinely believed my fate was to either end up dead by 30 years of age or spend the majority of my life in prison. Through years of reflection, accountability, and personal growth, I made the decision to change the direction of my life. Today, I have been a sober and productive member of society for several years and have built a stable career as a certified advanced manufacturing CNC machinist through the NIST training program, all the while continuing to educate myself in areas such as personal development, financial literacy, neuroscience, neurolinguistic programming, NLP, psychology, substance abuse, epigenetics, and economics, just to name a few. These studies helped me understand something powerful. The environment we grow up in influences our thinking and our vision for our future, but it does not have to define our destiny. Now I look into the mirror every morning to remind myself that my past is real, to acknowledge the progress I have made, and ask myself this one question: how much can you increase your personal growth, introspection, compassion, gratitude, and tolerance today? Who can you help? How can you share this amazing gift you found with the masses caught in these vicious cycles of addiction and criminality? This has become my major defining purpose. Because of my past, I believe I can connect with young people in an authentic, real way. I speak their language, understand the pecking order of the streets, how older people with criminalistic mentalities use conditioning and grooming techniques to use the youth to do the dirty work to insulate themselves from prosecution by law enforcement, and can explain to them where this lifestyle leads. Unfortunately, in most cases, this begins so young that it is the only world they have ever known, and it is the only path forward to financial security they have ever seen in their environment, and the cycle perpetuates. Many outreach programs struggle because they are delivered by people who have never lived close to the realities these youth face. I come from environments where violence, addiction, and criminal activity were normalized. That experience allows me to speak to young people honestly about both the consequences of those choices and also the possibilities that exist beyond them. The program I intend to develop will focus on several core components: street-level mentorship and relationship building with youth who are at risk of falling into cycles of crime, addiction, or violence; mindset and personal development training, incorporating concepts from neuroscience, behavioral psychology, and personal responsibility to help young people understand how their environment influences their thinking and how they can reshape their future; career exposure and skill development, particularly in trades and technical fields such as manufacturing, CNC machining, C.A.D. design, how to leverage technology for their benefit in education, and other modern industries that provide careers and legitimate pathways to financial security; education on long-term thinking, including financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and the importance of discipline, goal setting, and personal accountability. My vision is to create a program that not only interrupts negative cycles, but actively replaces them with purpose, skills, and opportunity. When young people are shown real legal paths to success, the appeal of destructive lifestyles begins to wane. At this stage, I am seeking to connect with community partners, local leaders, nonprofit organizations, and potential funding sources who share the belief that early intervention and mentorship can change lives. I am particularly interested in collaborating with schools, youth programs, recovery organizations, faith-based institutions, and community centers to pilot and develop this initiative. My long-term goal is to build a sustainable program that can expand throughout our region, providing mentorship, leadership development, and real career pathways for young people who may otherwise feel trapped by their circumstances. I believe strongly that cycles of violence, addiction, and generational poverty can be broken when individuals are shown both the tools and the belief that their lives can take a different direction. My own life stands as proof that transformation is possible. I welcome the opportunity to discuss this vision further and explore ways we can work together to make a meaningful impact in our community. Sincerely, Scott Herman, Canandaigua, New York. Scottha1985@gmail.com. 585-514-1741.